If you've ever wondered, did I miss the boat on YouTube? You're not alone. But here's the good news. It's not too late, and I'll show you why. Stick around for actionable tips for how you can break out, even in 2025. Hey there, I am Paige Turner, professional weirdo, and welcome to the channel. Okay, so I started on YouTube about a year ago, and I monetized 2 channels within my first year. And I didn't really have high hopes for doing much of anything on YouTube. I worried it was already too crowded, but I started anyway.
As one does.
And within my first year on YouTube, I monetized not 1, but 2 channels. And I'm currently working on a 3rd. I am not the kind of person that I thought would have much success on this platform. I am not model beautiful. I am the girl next door, except with messy hair and messy handwriting. I am a feral goblin lady. Somebody said, I have chaotic art teacher energy. I get that. I'm a little chubby and I'm very truthy. I'm kind of weird. Plus, you hear so much talk of how good YouTube was back in the day and how it's jumped the shark and how the genie's out of the bottle and there's no hope for us and the good old days are past. It's all ruined now. Who wants to get in now? Right? You've heard this. It's easy to feel like there's no room for you. But the truth is, YouTube keeps growing and niches are thriving like never before. Look, here's the thing. YouTube has over 2.7 billion monthly users. That's billion with a B. That's like half the world. And those users are hungry for fresh content. Plus, as a medium, video is not going anywhere. 80% of internet users prefer video content, so demand is only growing. And there have recently been some cool trends that favor new creators. The first is the rise of short-form video. Now, if you're working in long form, as I do, people tend to view this as a potential downside. But if we're talking about platform health and staying current, the fact that YouTube has embraced shorts is good news. Short form content is a game changer. It's easier than ever to reach a broad audience faster. And this is good news, the fact that YouTube keeps innovating and trying new things. Plus, as YouTube has grown, there are more and more niches sprouting up. Like there are niches that didn't exist in any way, shape, or form. My husband watches loads of videos on lock picking and watchmaking and watch restoration. We've gotten into a channel about this woman who grooms dogs and cats, another about a landscaping firm in Britain that takes care of unruly yards in the UK for a lot of pensioners and older people. Like, the sky's the limit. There's so many different types of content on YouTube. And not only that, there are multiple monetization options. It's not just AdSense. I actually did another episode on all the ways that YouTubers make money. They're an astonishing number, and if you get very creative, you don't even need that large of an audience in order to start making some decent money on YouTube. If you find the right niche and they love what you do and they want to support you, you can be off to a running start a lot sooner than people realize. You don't have to have millions and millions of followers to thrive on YouTube. You just don't. Another big fear a lot of creators have is the rise of AI in video production. Now, setting aside the reality that AI is making it so there are creators who could do channels that wouldn't have been able to do it before, and the fact that AI is a tool in service of that, even if you aren't somebody that wants to use AI, I actually did another video on the changes to the creator economy that have been spurred on by AI. But the long and the short of it is, there is a role for both AI-assisted content and what's the opposite of AI? Let's ask the tech overlords. What's the name for the opposite of AI? I want to say like genuine intelligence, but what's the opposite of AI? Natural intelligence. There you go, natural intelligence. Even got the Google AI overview for extra irony. I'll screenshot it for you guys. But yeah, natural intelligence. So whether your videos are produced via artificial intelligence or natural intelligence, or with me, derpy chaotic intelligence, questionable intelligence, dubious intelligence, there's a role for you on YouTube. I go much more into the reasons there. Part of this is that there's been a bit of an AI bubble. Some interesting things are happening in the creator economy. You'll have to check out that video. I get really granular on why, but suffice to say, there's a role for everybody. Okay, so I mentioned some actionable advice at the beginning of the video. I should probably not be a liar, pants on fire. I should probably tell you some of that. So I'll go over that real quick. All right, so in that spirit of honoring the promise to you guys, I'll give you some practical tips that you can implement immediately. The first is to focus primarily on viewer value. And in doing this, ask yourself, what problem am I solving, or what joy am I bringing from a viewer perspective? This is tricky, okay? Learning to stop thinking about it like, well, what do I want to make? Oh, I want to do this, me, and to start thinking about your audience. Huge game changer though, if you can really work it. So it's worth every little bit of effort to put yourself in the viewer's shoes. So sometimes this is hard to do with your own content. So I challenge you to go onto YouTube, watch other people's videos, write down observations about people's videos and the things that you like and the kind of problems you like to have solved when you're on the viewer side. And in a moment when you're not feeling terribly vulnerable and you're feeling like you can be constructive with yourself, take what you've written about other people and find a way to apply it to yourself. Or better yet, get a sounding board, somebody in your life that is a friend, your partner, a mentor, and take the observations about yourself, share them with your sounding board, and see what insights they have. See if they can help you to apply the advice. The good news is, as you've practiced these kind of perspective shifts, you'll need third parties less and less. You'll get better at doing this. But in the beginning, it can be rough going. It is, however, what separates the beginners from the intermediate and advanced YouTubers, being able to perspective take from the viewer perspective. Okay, so the next tip that I have is to leverage trends. I actually did a whole other video on this. You can find out what's trending on similar channels to you from your YouTube analytics. YouTube actually provides you with this information. It's right in the back end and it's right there for you to see. You just have to know where to look for it. So watch that video after this one about this monetization trick. It's really cool, it's very simple, and I'll tell you, it got me started in a way that very little else did. My next bit of advice is to optimize for discovery, and primarily through the Browse Features program, so through the home screen and being shown on people's walls. And to do this, you need to nail your title and your thumbnails, okay? I've done episodes on this as well that I will link on both titles and thumbnails, but essentially what you're doing is you're using intriguing, clear titles that promise value, and you keep your thumbnails simple but eye-catching. And my final tip for standing out is engaging and building community whenever possible. So what does this look like? Well, everybody knows you reply to your comments, okay? Right? But also look at your community tab. I did an episode on creative ways to use your community tab you can check out. I would also recommend putting polls up. I have good luck with polls. I've gotten really good information and things I like to talk about in my videos, and it's helped me to connect with people. Look, you don't need to be perfect and you don't need millions of views. What you need is consistency, creativity, and the courage to start. I've got you. We're in this together. Anyway, it's been great talking to you as always. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.